So, big thing of this week was Cameco's quarterly call. A lot discussed, but there's one topic at the top of everyone's minds, and I think these prices that we saw in the market afterwards would tell us that people had a strong view as to what the impact of that might be. So I'm talking clearly about the restart of Cigar Lake. What was your take on that?
Okay, so first of all, for anyone who missed the call, Cameco have announced that they plan to restart mining at Cigar Lake. They believe they can initiate that fairly quickly. All of their staff are still on full pay, so getting them back is really just a case of logistics and managing it all safely. They started that at the beginning of September. They'd expect to be in production by mid-September, for example, after doing a little bit of maintenance work after that period that it's been off. So the market didn't seem to like it very much, and I guess on the one hand that's not surprising because the average uranium punter would have preferred to see Cigar Lake off for a lot longer and a lot more pounds suppressed or sequestered from the market. But I think we just need to remember something. They initially announced that Cigar Lake would be temporarily suspended for 4 weeks, and it's going to be down for the best part of 6 months. So it's more than a uranium investor could possibly ever have wished for at the beginning of the year. So some of the commentary being unduly critical of Cameco, I think, is just misplaced.
Well, yeah, I think there's frustration there, because this was seen by many as an opportunity to actually drive this price discovery in the marketplace. So I think it's born out of frustration, not necessarily anger at the management team, but just the kind of perceived missed opportunity, right? So I think there's a little bit of that, and I think as we saw a lot of red in the market yesterday with prices. Even Cameco, I think, was down as much as 17% yesterday. So, but it's short term. It's a short term reaction. Possibly quite a good buying opportunity, I would argue. But what else were they able to say about this restart? Because it's not just about restarting in September; it's the rate at which they are able to do so. Any thoughts on that?
Well, the first thing is they didn't portray this as an absolute certainty. It's a plan. It's what they would like to do. It's what they're working towards doing, but it is still subject to it being safe to do so. And Tim Gitzel really emphasised that the safety of the employees, their families, the communities and the country at large comes first. Interestingly, it's also subject to some consultation with the community leaders in northern Saskatchewan. And ordinarily you'd think, well, gee, that's a bit of a lottery, what's going to happen there? But Cameco is very measured with this type of thing, and they're quite conservative. So I don't believe that you can jump to any great conclusions or expectations that that's going to be a blocker. I think unless Cameco felt very solid in their relationship with those parties and how they think they would react, I don't really see that being a likely cause of a delay. Now, in terms of how they'll bring it back on, this is an underground mine. It's quite conventional in general terms. It's highly robotic, et cetera, but it's still an underground mine that is designed to be operated at full tilt. And full tilt from their numbers is exactly how they plan to do it. When you take their numbers and do a little bit of back calculation, they're looking to generate 5.6 million pounds between when they turn it back on and the end of the year. So that is running it at full steam, probably working a little bit of stockpiles through to get a bit of a hit at the beginning as well. The final thing that I'd say about it that was quite interesting is Tim Gitzel flagged that there was a good chance it could impact 2021 production from Cigar Lake, and he pointed to deferred development decisions, et cetera, et cetera. So we can't just assume that it's going to be up to its 18 million pound capacity next year. So there's a good chance that both in Kazakhstan, but also with this enormous uranium mine in Canada, that we'll see some sort of a hangover into 2021 from this production disruption, assuming that they do manage to get it all started and operating effectively this year.